All right. Well, happy November, team. We've got this month and next month of the FitPro show, and then we're on our holiday break. Crazy. Time is flying by. I feel like October came really fast, it ended really fast, and then now it's already turkey trot time.
Oh, wow.
So I have a treat for you today. It is not only going to be me and one other program manager, we're going to have two. So I have both Julia joining us, and then Christie, the Vancouver program manager, will also be joining us later, and Julia's in Fort Collins. Because they are more so the experts in today's topic. We're going to be discussing cardio training in cold weather because it is that time of year. We've got our turkey trots coming up. It's going to be, I know in Oregon, it's cold. It's going to be cold and wet and rainy until like summer again. So we've
Oh,
got,
don't say it like that, Hannah. I'm going to
I
head
know
out
we, I
depressed and
mean,
start crying
we
on
have
camera.
beautiful weather. We have our beautiful sunny days, and then we have our dark, gloomy, cold days, and then we have our icy days. Like we're gonna go through it all. And I know where you're at, Julia, in Fort Collins, same. It's cold, a lot colder there, not as rainy. And then Christy, who's in Vancouver, it's also similar to Corvallis, Oregon. And both Julia and Christy are avid endurance athletes. And so they are still bundling up and going outside and still exercising and sticking to their regimen, even with the change in weather. And I've already had plenty of people coming into my office and saying, I I don't know what to do now. I'm not as active since it's cold and dark, or maybe I'll try some strength training. And I try to tell them, like, I'd love to get you strength training, but we can still be active outside. And even though I'm not an avid cardio goer, I still go for walks. I love hiking during this time of year. I'm still outside because of how much better it makes me feel. So that's kind of a brief overview of what we'll be talking about. We'll kind of discuss like why you should still train outside in the cold. I know usually it's like, stay away, but we're going to talk about some physiological benefits, mental benefits. We'll talk about, cardio options for you, and then safety and preparation. So how to properly prepare for being outdoors in the cold, moving your body. I know this time of year we feel a lot more aches and pains. I'm feeling it. Um, and hearing it. So we'll be talking about safety and preparation, and then also just how to stay motivated through this time. I mean, daylight savings just happened, so we've got it getting dark at like 4:45 p.m.
Yep.
So how are we going to stay active and push through when it is a little bit more challenging, when we don't have as much daylight and it's just cold? And it sounds so enticing to go home and get in our comfies and bundle up on the couch.
Mm.
I still, trust me, I do that, but I make sure to still get my exercise in prior. So, yeah, that's a quick overview. I'm gonna get us started on the why doing cardio in the cold and being outside is worth it. Um, so, physiological benefits. When you're outside, your body is going to have to work harder to regulate your body's temperature. It's going to have to get the blood flowing, oxygen pumping when we're moving and it's cold. And when that happens, you are going to burn more calories. So, automatically, if you are being like, I need to go for a run to burn calories and stay in my calorie deficit or to work towards my fat loss goals, just going outside and going for a walk right now, a hike right now, running, cycling, all the things, you are going to burn more calories than if it's just a moderate temperature. So there's a bonus. Your body's just going to get more efficient at regulating your temp. Um, and you're going to also improve your endurance as your body's adapting to the cooler air. So, you'll be a better athlete overall when it comes to those 5Ks and events that you're training for that are in the spring, that are in the summer. Just training right now is going to improve your endurance with regulating that colder air. And then the third benefit that I think is the most important is mental resilience. Mentally challenging yourself to go outside and be in the cold and it feels uncomfy, and sometimes you really don't want to, but really having that like mental grit and going out and doing it, showing yourself that you can do hard things, you are tough, and it will give you a mood boost just from like braving the elements. I mean, we're outdoors and it's raining and cold here, and you're going to feel, pretty dang proud of yourself if you went out and you got something done for your body. And I think transitioning more with the mental side is like when you're outdoors, I feel you're going to be combating that seasonal depression that we all hear and talk about, maybe experience, just by going outside. It's going to help combat that seasonal depression that you might deal with a lot. So I know personally, when I'm like walking the hallways on site, or I'm driving home and I'm looking through the window and I'm seeing like gloomy, cold, dark, I do get like kind of bummed out and down. But it's so interesting if I go outside and I actually plan to go on a hike, or I'm just going on a walk and bundled up, even though it's the same dark and gloomy and cold as it was when I was looking at it through the window. I always feel like I have such a better mood after. Like I loved it out there. I'm like, wow, I feel so much better. I'm so glad. So I think just being outside, still in the elements, in the crunchy leaves and the bright green grass, and actually getting that fresh air really does play a big impact on your mental health and your resilience. So I think that would be my biggest motivator when I'm wanting to go out or challenging myself to go outside, is usually the mental side, is I know how much better I'm going to feel, and not just saving that time to go outside when the weather's beautiful and nice, doing it all year round. Because we need more fresh air. There are a lot of studies saying about how lack of fresh air we are getting nowadays, and how much better it improves our brain's capacity when we are exposing ourselves. So that's my whole take on the physiological benefits. Is there anything else you want to chime in there, Julia?
I love how you put that together, because I think for me, I mean, I always feel like after my winter training, because Christy and I usually train for something, and that's what kind of keeps us motivated to go outside and do something in the dark, gloomy weather. I do feel like I come out as a stronger athlete when I'm then running in spring and it's nicer weather again. It's so much easier and I feel like stronger. But I 100% agree. I love being proud of myself, because I'm one of the many people that, you know what, negative self-talk is one of those things that I do, always pointing out to myself, oh, this is not, you did this wrong and this, and now you can't do this. And oh my goodness, Julia. But then I go out in the dark on my spikes on icy trails and I'm like, you know what? You're actually pretty cool. So it makes me feel so good about myself. But
I
yes,
love
I
that.
love the aspect of being proud, also coming out of the other end, feeling like a
Mhm.
stronger athlete. So Christy, I don't
Yeah.
know how you feel about that.
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. I always struggle to get out the door. So I'll be honest, a big motivator, because they don't really give me a choice, are my dogs. So they
Exactly.
really,
Yes,
they
Get a
really are
dogs.
dog,
like,
everybody.
we need to go. I have too much energy. And so that really helps get me out. And then same thing. Once I'm out, I'm feeling good, if I'm soaking wet, that's okay, because Hannah and I are in the Pacific Northwest, so it rains a lot. Um, but yeah, no, getting on the trails, I just agree with both of you. It's just I feel strong, I feel good, I feel that fresh air is so, so important, at least for me. Being stuck indoors, it feels like the air is kind of
Yeah.
stale, and yeah, so oh, fresh air is like my best friend sometimes.
Yeah.
I also like what you said, Hannah, from looking like, when you leave, you want to go home and you look out, it's like, oh, it's already dark outside. It's only 5 p.m. But then you go outside, you walk to your car, or like me, I'm lucky enough I can ride my bike, but you walk out and it's like, it looks so much different. It's so much better out here than it looked from the outside, from the inside,
Hmm.
because yeah, the fresh air just changes something in your brain, and it feels good breathing that fresh, beautiful, crisp air outside.
Yeah. So I know we like what you just talked on, it being dark out. So that kind of transitions us into like safety and preparation. So for both of you, can you run through your like best tips and tricks for training in the cold weather and in the dark?
Mm. It's a good question, but you know what? If you look at, you probably when you drive home or when you're out and about, you see all those different runners. Some have just a headlamp, some have like blinky lights attached to their arms or whatever. I mean, there's so many different things. My new favorite is the crisscross applesauce blink light that it's like a vest, but it's really just a rope light strapped around your upper body, which I just want to make people aware that I'm there. And I feel like anything that flashes or is a different color than all the other colors out there, because I'm like night blind or whatever you call it. So if there's so much going on, the headlights of cars, the flashlights, this, and then there's just so much going on. So we need to stand out as walkers or runners or cyclists outside. So whatever looks different than other lights, that's me blinking a lot of light. But Christy, you were talking a little about trail running. What do you do when you're on the trail?
So when I'm on the trail, I have a headlamp on, and I try to have one that's just not like a single focus, but that one is a little bit
Mm-hmm.
wider, that it has a bunch of different lights on it, so I can see all of my surroundings. So that's what I do when I'm on the trail. I maybe not super visible because I don't have to worry really about cars or anything like that. But definitely having, for my own self to be able to see. And with any trail running, you're not looking straight down, you're kind of looking ahead. So you're planning what your steps are without even really thinking about it. But no, definitely a headlamp. When I am out on the streets or different things like that, same thing as Julia. I really try to make myself visible. Since I take my dogs out for walks, a lot of times they have lighted collars. So it's like this huge boom, boom, boom. Here we are.
Light show,
Just
Christie's light show.
Exactly, because people aren't looking out for us. I
No.
mean, they're not looking out for, their focus. They want to get home, they need to get to work. They're not thinking about us. And so we have to definitely be here, like Julie said, here I am.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we talked yesterday a little bit that I like black and gray. Black and gray are just my colors. Sometimes there's a little pop of pink in here or whatever, but when I do run in the fall and winter in the dark, I break out my loud leggings as loud as possible, so that
Mhm.
that is just something else that it just looks different than the surroundings, so people will see you and notice you more.
Yeah, so talking about like clothing, what are you both wearing? Because you start cold and then you get warm, right?
And
And
I'm
then it's like you
always
don't want to have
cold.
too much.
So yeah, that's one of the things. I love how you said you start cold. I never actually recommend starting cold. I recommend that you're already warm. So whether it's with your warm up or like with me leaving the house, I'm already warm. I have all my layers on. I have my gloves on. I know like Hannah and Julia are talking, they wear mittens. So I don't start off cold. And so I definitely start off warm, not like where I'm sweating or anything like that, but I'm comfortable, I'm warm, and that's going to help keep me warm as I go along. And then we had all been talking, layers are going to be your best friend. Something that's easy to take off. I love zippers, so I don't necessarily have to take it off, but I can open it up, get some more air in. But layers are going to be
Layers are
amazing.
your best
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
I
Because
agree.
yeah. Yeah, no, I've lived in Erie where I was out running in 10-degree weather, and then I was on the other aspect before that, I lived in Arizona, so, like, 45 was really cool to me, so it all kinda depends on where you're at.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of vests. I don't know. I
Mhm.
I usually wear two long sleeves and then I have a vest over. I remember, zippers are really clever because they make them for a reason, no? But like my last half marathon I ran, we started out, it was really cold, and I was wearing these two long sleeves, and I don't like stopping when I run. Once I pass the start line, I will keep running. And
Yeah.
so I was running, trying to take off while I'm running. And then I had headphones in, and I got tangled up in all of my things. It was probably hilarious to watch, but not as hilarious in my case to get myself out of that situation. But zippers are good. Yeah, if you need to take off layers, and I always go for 3 layers, bottom and top, and thick socks. And one thing that you said, Christy, my hands and feet are usually cold. So just like Christy said, I also try to warm up, and I'm not a big warm up person. I always tell you, don't forget to warm up, everybody. But I'm like the worst. I usually just go, yeah. But in winter, I have to feel, I feel unsafe. If I go out cold, core temperature is not warmed up, everything is just kind of feeling stiff. And that's usually when I pull something. But one thing, I have to make sure that I warm up enough that my hands and my feet are warm, because if they are cold when I go out, they will actually go numb, my hands and my feet. So I always make sure to warm up in a way that at least my hands and my feet are warm, and all my joints have kind of been moved around and my muscles are ready for sometimes negative temperatures for walking or running. Even walking, I can pull something real good if I walk a little brisker outside in the cold. I can pull my quad, no problem.
Yeah. So talking about warm up, I'm sure many of you on the call have always heard us say this, but I'm going to reiterate it, like dynamic, not static. So dynamic means like moving your joint through its range of motion. Static means holding. We don't want to just like hold a stretch and then do the other side, hold a stretch. And we want to actively be moving our joints. So doing some leg swings, some knee hugs, some hamstring sweeps, if you want to be doing some squats, just getting things moving, that's going to be your best way to warm up prior to going outside. And then at the end, you're fine to do a static stretch, but we just want to emphasize, don't just like stick your leg out and stretch your hamstring and hold, and then maybe do the other side. Like try to do it through a like moving, a complete dynamic movable movement the entire time. Is there any specific warm-up exercises either you guys are doing?
I need to warm up my quads. Christy, I don't know about you, but if I pull something, it's usually my quads. So I start with some glute kicks, and then I go hold the quad stretch a little bit longer. But like you said, Hannah, if I'm expecting my body to do something dynamic, I keep my warm up super dynamic. I just, getting maybe into step out jacks and then going into jumping jacks. I always go into a deep, like a sumo squat, like super deep, just to get all the hips ready and all that midsection ready for my run. Christy, is there any special tricks that we should know about that you do?
Yeah, so I'll do that. I like a lot of the ones you do. I also really like the hip openers where you're
Mm-hmm.
kind of bringing it in, bringing out. I like that. I also like calf raises because sometimes my calves get really tight. So
Crampy,
like the
yeah,
ankle
tight.
rolls, the calf raises, and then I also like to do twist, like kind of
Torso
again
twist.
getting, the spine kind of ready, getting my core ready as well. So those are some other ones that I throw in there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So other things with safety and preparation, what about hydration?
Mm. I don't know. I think I told both of you, and maybe some other people know that too. It's like when people forget their water, because I teach an outdoor boot camp, and it's every Thursday in the park, and goes all year long. So some days I think the coldest weather was like 5 degrees when we went out for boot camp.
Gosh.
But I know, and I bring all my equipment, my cool mom minivan, and then I'll just throw the equipment out. But I always have hot water in my water bottle, always. I mean, even in summer when it's hot. But it causes my body not to have to spend too much energy on making it body temperature. So I usually always provide my body with like body weight, body temperature water all year, but that's what I do. And I almost feel like maybe I don't need quite as much hydration, but we have to remember that even though we're maybe not as thirsty and it's not hot and we're not sweating as much, hydration is just as important, or maybe even a little bit more sometimes during the cold winter days that we're out there doing all our fun things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went on a hike the other day and it was cold out and I just was like, I just grabbed my fanny pack and just started going. And I was with a friend and at the top I was like, I'm so thirsty right now.
Thirsty.
Like I'm so
Yeah.
thirsty and I just could not wait to get back to my car to just like chug my water. But I'm like, I don't know why I usually bring it, but with it being colder, I was like, "Meh, I don't need it. Like,
Yeah, we
I'm
forget
fine."
about it now. And
Yeah,
then,
you
I
just have
mean,
this idea that you don't need it, but I
yeah,
agree. Like, you
because it's not that
definitely,
hot outside.
yeah, just because you're cold, like, doesn't mean you're not gonna be sweating still. Like, I definitely got sweaty and I needed hydrate
Hmm.
my body. So, yeah. And then as far as footwear, I know you mentioned like spikes. Is anyone or is there any specific recommendations you have there when it comes to outdoor training?
You said something about you wear sleeves, yeah, for your shoe, or what do you do, Christy?
Yeah, so I'll do if it's like really icy out or anything, they're like I think they're sleeves and they're coils instead of
Mm-hmm.
spikes.
Yeah.
So I've used those before and I really, really like those. They work really well for me. I'll be honest, if I'm on the trails, I just kind of wear my own shoes.
Yeah.
I do like waterproof shoes. Like if it's
Mm-hmm.
snowing, stuff like that, it's not that big of a deal, but kind of like in the Pacific Northwest where you're literally going into puddles and then your feet are soaking wet and then
Yeah.
they're cold and then you're sloshy. That to
Mm.
me is I
Yes.
hate
Yeah,
that. So
waterproof
Mm.
shoes
waterproof
are a
is good.
must. Hmm.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
shoes with good traction too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even just look at your shoes. If they've been the same shoes you've used for a long time, they probably lost their traction and so might need time for upgrade. Go to one of the outlets and you'll get a good new pair.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else when it comes to safety you're preparing for outdoor training?
You talked about I always wear mittens. I don't know. I
I wear
went back
mittens
and
too.
forth
Hmm.
between gloves, but I just feel like my hands, they're such crybabies. They're always so cold. So I just need them to be together to keep each
Hmm.
other warm. Um, I like good question with the headphones. I like the mittens. They just keep my hands warmer. So I do extra hot gloves. And sometimes I lose them. Sometimes I lose my hat. I usually wear a hat, or I just wear my what do you call these? Just a headband that cover my
Yeah, yeah.
ears.
Hmm.
And actually, Chris, did you ask this question with the headphones? I don't really ever run with headphones or ride my bike with headphones. I don't trust anybody and I want to know what's going to happen. So I usually don't wear, and then usually most races you're not even allowed to wear any headphones either. So, oh, you have the new ones, no? The ones that are just sitting here, the ones
And
that
that's
go
what
over
I
you.
use.
I've
I use
never, I see
the
so many
bone
people with
conduction
them.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the best because I'll be honest, I run with music. I don't um I need the music. That helps motivate me, everything like that. So and usually running races, they do let you wear it. They're maybe discouraged, but they do let you wear headphones. But yeah, no, the bone conduction one, so like the shocks, I saw that. That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have.
those.
You can still
Oh,
hear everything around you. So that's what I recommend. I know some people will just have like one in so they
one
can still
in.
hear.
Hmm.
Personally, I don't like that because I feel like I'm kind of blocked on one
It that
side.
yeah, that would be weird.
Um, yeah, so the shocks, I do like that because I feel like more
I did a half
aware of my surroundings.
marathon.
Yeah, I have to
And,
look at those because everybody's
well,
wearing them. You can get them at Safeway and Costco. Everybody, that's what I hear.
yeah.
I don't have a membership to that. No, not Safeway, the other one that's like Costco. But anyway, so I usually don't like to wear anything. And in our triathlons, usually, yes, they discourage you to wear
Yeah, and
headphones.
when we were talking earlier, like just reiterating when it is darker out and it is or you're on a street with loud cars or anything, just like being aware, as aware as you can of your surroundings. I know like things can happen, so just being safe in that way. So I think definitely the headphones that do where you can hear both what's like going on around you but still listen to your music, I think that's wonderful. And then if you do like are not able to get a pair of those and you still really do want to wear your headphones, maybe not turning full blast and it's more of like a lighter sound coming in so you're not completely blocking out everything around you, or being like Julia and fully embracing the nature noises all around you. So
And I like to
yeah.
talk to myself. I don't know. But the one time when I was running in winter and I was coming up on a runner in front of me, and I was saying, coming up here on your left or whatever you say because you're a nice person, letting them know. They didn't hear me because they were listening to music. And then I was next to them and they got so scared. So
Yeah.
it was like a big jump to the side. It was like, I'm sorry, but I was announcing myself. But that's the moment. I don't like those moments, especially when it's dark and you're already kind of like, what's going on around me?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden you get super spooked. So that's why I like to just be aware
Yeah,
in the
I think
dark
we've all had
times.
moments like that, whether you're the
Yeah.
one being spooked or
Yeah,
you've spooked
or you
someone
are the
else.
one who spooks
Yeah, yeah.
somebody. Yeah.
And I'll be
Oh,
honest, I run with my dogs too. And so I kind of have an extra alert system, which is
yes.
My
another reason
dog
I
is
feel
like this
okay.
big, Christy. That doesn't
Yeah,
work.
mine are
He's
not.
like this
That's
big.
hilarious
No,
because
yours
Julia's
are.
like Julia's over 6 feet tall, so it's funny that you have such a
Yeah,
tiny
my
little
dog is like
puppy.
beep, 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 beep. He takes
That's
20
funny.
steps, but I take 2.
Okay, so I want to wrap things up with just how your best tips and tricks on staying motivated. So give us what you do to stay motivated.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, Christy.
Mhm.
No, set yourself a goal. That's the only way I get my booty out there. I need a goal, and my goals are usually what's the spring season look like, what's coming up, what kind of races or walks can I sign up for that gives me a purpose to train. Christy?
Yeah. And so, no, I do the same thing. I love signing up for future races because I'm like, I got to get going. But one of my biggest motivators is meeting up with a friend that I have that commitment. So even if, which a lot of times we're doing different paces, but we're going to say we're going to go run for 30, 45 an hour. And then we're going to meet back here. Maybe we'll go grab coffee or whatever. So we aren't staying with each other, but it's just saying, hey, I have to meet this person. They're relying on me, especially when it's dark out, when it's rainy. So when it's more like a safety factor. And I
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't want to leave a friend by themselves.
No.
I like to, that's just extra motivation for me to get out and do it.
Yeah. And yesterday we went over this a little bit. I have my boot camp running through Meetup, and Meetup is just a great place to find walking or running groups. People, if they
Mhm.
hold you somebody has to hold you accountable. Be like, where are you, Christy? We're meeting in 20 minutes. Find somebody who can hold you accountable, and then it's just also
Yeah.
much more fun.
Yeah, so building yourself a community. I know I only like to go hiking or get myself to go hiking after work because I'm meeting up with a friend to do it. Sometimes I'm dreading it, but once I'm there at the trail and are starting the hike, I'm so glad that I did. So don't worry, like us fitness program managers, we struggle with the motivation too. So you're not alone. Maybe it is okay during this time of year to transition into doing a little bit more strength training or trying on-site indoor classes to supplement with the outdoor training you're maybe not doing as much of. But we still want you to encourage to try to stick with your outdoor training. But like
Yeah.
maybe try some more strength. Join our boot camp classes. That's a good way to increase your endurance and prepare for those events that you have signed up, because that's why you're going to also keep training.
Turkey
And so
trot.
yes, we do have our turkey trot. So I'm throwing that in the chat right now. So our turkey trot challenge starts Monday. So it's super simple. It's either 3.1 miles, so a 5K at one time, or 12,000 steps in one day. And then there's extra challenges throughout once you sign up that you'll learn about that you can keep doing to stay active during the 3 weeks. And then a lot of our sites are doing on-site 5K events. So make sure that you're joining them. I know my site in Corvallis, we have an outdoor 5K happening at the same time as an indoor turkey walk, so that if you want to be outside braving the weather, I think it's going to be beautiful and sunny, but being outside you can, or doing the indoor event. But definitely look into your sites and join whatever events are going on so that you can also stay active. Sweet. All right. Yeah. And if anyone else on the line has questions for Christy or Julia about outdoor cardio training, they're the experts in this field. They've completed tons of races, all different modalities. So they'd be really good connections for you if you're also wanting to start getting into that. Maybe that's something that you're motivated and intrigued by. They would be a really great resource for you to reach out to, get a basic training plan, and just get some motivation on how to get started. So great.
Thank
Well,
you.
yeah,
Thanks,
thanks,
Hannah, for
Julia.
letting us be
Thanks,
here.
Christy. We
Thanks,
appreciate having you
everybody.
on. And then next month, we will be talking all about strength training at homes with the holidays coming up. we'll be talking about like body weight exercises, what to do, maybe having what equipment to have at your home gym, and the best way to like keep your progress going, even with the site shutdowns that are coming up. All right.
Perfect. Bye,
Yay.
everybody.
Happy
Bye-bye.
turkey trotting team. See you
Gobble,
later.
gobble. See ya. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.